morning. Magandang araw po sa lahat.
Yes po, si DJ Chacha at si Maricel Halili po ngayong umaga, attorney.
Hi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Magandang umaga po sa lahat.
Salamat po sa panahon. Attorney, diretsahan lang po tayo. Ano po ang argument ng inyo pong grupo kung bakit sinasabi nyo po na unconstitutional yung ginagawang impeachment proceedings sa Kamara?
Well, it is unconstitutional because at threshold level pa lang doon sa House Committee on Justice, the complaint should have been dismissed. Specifically, yung third complaint as well as the fourth complaint. Why? Because the third complaint violated the sacrosanct nature of an endorsement. If you will notice, yung second endorser na congressman, si Congresswoman De Lima. Yung third endorser, same pa rin, si Congresswoman De Lima. So sa third impeachment complaint, we believe that an endorsement is a sacrosanct function. The filing of a complaint serves as a constitutional filter. It is not a conveyor belt. It is not a process by which you draft complaints, and if you find that the first and second complaint are not so well organized and not so well written, you again endorse a third complaint. That is a violation of the non-forum shopping rule. So dapat na-dismiss na yon. Yung fourth complaint naman, violation din yun sa due process kasi what is good for the gander should be good for the goose. Yung impeachment complaint ni Presidente Marcos was dismissed on the ground of what's called this failure to state ultimate facts, because according to Rule 3, Section 5 of the Rules of Proceedings of the Committee on Justice, the complaint should contain statement of facts which constitute the offense. Yung mga allegations daw doon kay Presidente Marcos, hindi daw yung nag-amount to an impeachable crime of bribery, grave violation of the Constitution, and other high crimes, no? Kung in-apply yun kay Presidente Marcos, dapat in-apply din yun dito kay Vice President Sara Duterte. That is the mandate of the Equal Protection Clause of the 1987 Constitution. And then more importantly, dismissible na sana yun of threshold level. Ang ginawa pa nila, yung House Committee on Justice kasi is tama yon, determination of probable cause, pero hindi dapat na ikaw na yung investigator, ikaw na yung what you call this, mag-fishing expedition ka na, ikaw na yung magpasabina. Ginawa ba nila yun kay Presidente Marcos na impeachment complaint? Hindi. Nagpasabina ba sila doon sa pagdetermine ng sufficiency in substance doon sa kay Presidente Marcos? Hindi. Kaya nga, kung anong in-apply nila doon kay Presidente Marcos, dito rin, nagiging na sila, nag-conduct na sila ng fishing expedition na bawal yun. Maski nga mga corporation na hindi na state doon sa complaint, sinali na nila. So it has become a very expansive investigative process which is no longer within the function of the House Committee on Justice. Kung kulang yung complaint, di kulang, i-dismiss nila. Hindi yung sila na yung magiging investigator, sila na yung nangangalap ng ebidensya. Mali yun. Kung hindi nila in-apply yun kay Presidente Marcos, dapat hindi rin yun i-apply kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Ang amin dito, yes, there should be accountability. But then again, the Vice President already explained everything in the past about what happened with her funds. No? This is a question of constitutional limits. Accountability, questions of accountability should be determined in accordance with constitutional limits such that due process must still be observed.
Para sa inyo po ba, attorney, hanggang saan lang ba dapat ang mandato ng Kamara or ng House Justice
Yung
of... Sige po.
nandun lang yun sa 1987 Constitution, nakamandate doon sa Article 11 Section 3 thereof. Dapat kung ano yung nakalagay doon sa complaint, i-assess nila sufficient in form and in substance ba ito. Di mag-render na kaagad sila ng report kung meron ngang sufficiency in substance. If there is a need for a hearing for clarification of the matters that are stated in the complaint, well, I may concede that it may be done, but if you will now accordingly subpoena for documents which are not existing in the complaint, you will subpoena for evidences from certain corporations which are not even stated in the complaint, you are already committing grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction. So kaya, yung katangahan nila, huwag nila isisi sa amin. Kasi kami nagmamasid, bumoto kami ni VP Sara Duterte. Alam nga naman, i-allow namin yan to continue when there is a grave constitutional violation. So
Mm.
dapat kami din, mag-file kami ng kaso. Mahal na mahal namin si VP Sara Duterte. Binoto namin 32 million. Tapos babastusin lang ng ilang congressman na dapat nga sana sila pa yung nag-file ng complaint ha. Dapat neutral sila on the level of Committee on Justice. Sila pa ang mag-determine ngayon kung may Committee on Substance. Ano yan? Sila yung nag-file ng complaint tapos sila pa ang magdidesisyon. Basic dictates of fairness and what you call this neutrality should have commanded na nag-inhibit muna sila silang nandun napaka-active. Oo, sila pa yung pinakamaingay doon. Bawal na bawal sana 'yun. Ginawa nila, anong gagawin ni Attorney Torion? Dekano tayo ng law school, hindi tayo I could not tolerate that when there is a grave constitutional violation. Maski hindi kami nakipag-coordinate doon kay VP Sara Duterte in our capacity as citizens and taxpayers, we will file it. Nobody can prevent us because it is our right within Article 8, Section 1 of the 1987 Constitution. Being a citizen, a particle of sovereignty, we have the right to file that case.
Attorney, si Maricel po ito. Pero ang sinasabi po kasi, katwiran ni na Congressman De Lima, ito daw pong ginawa yung hakbang na pagsasampa ng panibagong kaso sa Supreme Court, pagpapakita po na pagiging desperate para takasan ni VP Sara yung kanyang accountability.
Actually, binabaliktad lang ni Congresswoman De Lima. You know, I respect her very much. Kaibigan kami. Pero binabaliktad niya ang desperation sa kanila. Nakikita natin doon sa kanila, ilang beses na nila inuulit-ulit ito. An impeachment complaint is personal. Hindi yan institutional. Pati yung mga complaints nila, pagiging DepEd Secretary, hindi naman naka-identify doon kung sinong nakatanggap, sinong bumigay. The basics of a cause of action, who, what, when, where, how, wala doon sa kanilang complaint. Tapos ibalik pati yung COA nagsabi na wala namang definitive allegation doon which would link VP Sara Duterte to any wrongdoing. Binabalik-balik na sila ang desperate, hindi po si VP Sara or yung mga supporters ni VP Sara.
Pero hindi po ba ito delaying tactics kagaya po ng pinangangambahan ng ilang kongresista?
No, the 1987 Constitution is there in order for us to have a constitutional watchtower, in order for to have a conscience of watchtower. There are contours upon which we should not transgress. There are limits upon which we should not defy. If you defy the contours of the 1987 Constitution, the limits within which the House of Representatives should conduct its role under the 1987 Constitution in impeachment process, then the citizens as particles of sovereignty have the right to bring it to the Supreme Court in order not to dictate upon the House of Representatives to do what it should be done, but in order to allocate constitutional limits, and that is what we are doing.
Pero ang ipinupunto rin po kasi ni na Congressman Ridon, ito namang pagpapasabpina ng mga dokumento na pinasabpina nila, clarificatory at saka within the bounds of law. Kumbaga, bahagi rin ng kanilang mandato bilang bahagi ng Kamara.
Maling-mali po yun. I'll give you a clear example. In Article 5 of the third Sabalia complaint, it invokes unexplained wealth and non-disclosure. It alleges that the respondent's salary could not explain hundreds of millions in her bank accounts and concludes that she failed to disclose assets and true net worth. That can be found in paragraphs 285 and 290. In the fourth complaint of Cabrera, Article 5, it refers to preliminary documentary leads, public records, omissions, and inconsistencies in SALN, suspicious cash flows, possible nominee arrangement, and asks for bank records and forensic accounting in paragraphs 233 to 243, paragraphs 247 to 248. Anong ginawa nila? Nagpasabina sila, overbroad masyado, covering 2007 to 2013, 2016 to 2022, and 2022 to 2025. It's subpoenaed the BIR for ITR, so VP Sara and Manasseh Carpio. It's subpoenaed SEC General Information Sheets, audited financial statement, and corporate documents of multiple companies which are not even stated in the complaint. And so what is our question here? The complaints even do not identify the exact SALN year exact omitted entry, exact hidden asset, exact account, exact amount, or exact false declaration with sufficient specificity. Yet the subpoenas sweep across long periods, including 2007 onwards, and extend to multiple corporations not stated in the complaint. The file records an objection that there was no nexus in the evidence or in the ultimate facts of the impeachment complaint, and that the corporations were not even mentioned nor included in the complaint. What do we call this in law school? This is overbreadth. And this shows that the committee was not proving a specifically pleaded discrepancy. It was broadly searching for one. It was in effect a fishing expedition.
Okay,
Meron
pero-
pang iba, pero with limited time, hindi ko ma-explain lahat. Nandun yun sa aming press conference. Masyadong overbroad na, para na siyang licensed roving commission, which should not be done.
Oo. Pero attorney, hindi ba ang SALN naman supposedly a public document talaga? So,
True.
I mean- Oh.
Now, if that is a public document, that should have been attached in the complaint. You should have told the third complainant as well as the fourth complainant to request the same from the ombudsman in the past and attach it in the complaint. You cannot make the House Committee on Justice to be your investigator. Hello? You never did that to Marcos. Why do that to VP Sara Duterte? That is not allowed under the 1987 Constitution. Hence, Attorney Torion, Attorney Bondoc, and other lawyers will now come to the succor of the Supreme Court and tell and request the Supreme Court, please, these congressmen are overstepping their boundaries, not anymore stated in the 1987 Constitution. Hence, please exercise your certiorari jurisdiction under Article 8, Section 1, which has been expanded, by the way, under the 1987 Constitution.
Last na lang po, attorney, kung sakali
Yes.
po, no, hindi naman natin alam ang magiging desisyon dito ng Korte Suprema kung gaano kabilis, pero kung hindi po paboran ng Supreme Court, eto pong petition nyo, anong next step?
Well, we will file a motion for reconsideration and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that somehow the hearts of the Supreme Court justices would be touched and they would act upon the same favorably in the motion for reconsideration. Yun lang po.
Yun lang din po. Maraming salamat, attorney, ha, sa
Thank
inyo
you.
pong
Thank you. Maraming
pagpayag
salamat.
sa panayam
Yes po.
ngayong umaga. Once again,
Yes
isang
po, yes po. Thank you.
maraming salamat po, Attorney Israelito Torion, isa nga po sa mga petitioners na naihain dyan po sa Korte Suprema na may kinalaman pa rin po sa impeachment proceedings si VP Sara Duterte. Mga kapatid, para sa iba pang mga balita at impormasyon, sundan niyo po kami sa X, Instagram, Facebook at syempre sa TikTok, True Network PH. Mag-subscribe din po kayo ha sa aming YouTube channel, True Network. May website din po tayo, truenetwork.ph, at pwede nyo rin po kaming mapanood sa Channel 19 ang aming True FM TV. Lagi pa rin makinig sa radyo dito po sa 105.9 True FM dahil dito, lagi po sa'yo, kapatid.